The goal of the renovation from my perspective was to get the books in place in a way that was much more accessible to students, easier for staff, and I think we've achieved that. The shelving is nice and open. It's really easy to find what they're looking for. It's kind of a linear space from bottom to top. Before the renovation started to make the new Shannon Library, this library, the previous iteration of this library, there was old dilapidated shelving in really tight, cramped quarters. We would have a lot of a run of books. You would get to a spot where the books no longer fit on the shelf, and so then there would be a little sign that said to hop over to another section to find this run of books and then go back to the shelvings. It was really hard for library users to find what they were looking for. It was really hard for staff, and it was a wholesale renovation. They maintained, they worked really hard to maintain the continuity between the historical space and the new library, but it's night and day difference.
What I and my team were looking at is what are the collections that were moved out of the original facility? What do we need to bring back to best support teaching and research? How can we create a collection that's vibrant and heavily used and easily accessible?
Having had the good fortune to go to school here and to have utilized and to know what this looked like, before they started it, it's just night and day, and how open it is and what they've done.
We have 5 libraries on campus that are always open to students. The students access that the materials in the libraries are accessible to students, and we also have our high-density storage warehouse off campus, Ivy Stacks. From a perspective of ensuring that the materials are accessible to students and students and researchers are able to find what they're looking for, one of the things that we're always concerned about is ensuring that when students search a book in our online catalog, that they're able to know exactly where it is, in which library. And so our offsite storage facility, we have over 3 million books in that facility. We have a dedicated courier staff who, UVA library employees who go between each library branch at least once, usually multiple times per day, moving books both between library spaces and then also delivering books to some faculty and to different non-library spaces where books are delivered.
As you see here, we're on the 5th floor. The 5th and 4th are all static cantilever shelving. On the 1st and 3rd, you have mobile shelving that they have in this same footprint that you see here. And then there's 4 or 5 different mobiles down in the basement for special collections. They have a rare book school here that also utilizes a mobile system.
One of the things that I had hoped with the work here and what we were creating here is to move away from the idea of being a museum of books to being a collection that people wanted to be able to use and to access easily. I think the end result is a building in which we can serve up collections that will help students be successful, that will help faculty be successful, as well as support the day-to-day activities that go on around a university campus.
And now it's just a big, huge open space that's really welcoming, really inviting, that I think so far, students have loved it. We've been in here for about 2 months, so it's been open, and it's always full of students, much more so than the other library was able to be.
To find professionals like Patterson Pope who can help make your vision come true. Because for us, we had this idea, but we really don't know how shelves are made and how they're, all that sort of thing. So it was an excellent opportunity to find people who know what they're doing and help them help you realize your dream.
You know, I think my biggest advice for anybody embarking on a big renovation, a big project, a big book move, planning and over-planning and replanning and doing everything you can to plan as much as possible is always advisable. I think it's always necessary.
The other piece of advice is to always be flexible. It's, nothing ever goes exactly like you expect it to go, but the end product can be fabulous when you involve as many people as possible and get their vision as well.